The movie starts with this gangster dude who used to be the biggest deal in the whole city, but now some new gang is moving in on his turf, and he is not happy about it. This one guy spills the beans to the boss, and the boss totally loses it and shoves a knife right through the poor guy's face. Super messed up. Then bam! We see our guy, Sagata, climbing up the side of the gangster's house. He gets inside and just starts wrecking all the bodyguards. He even drops one dead guy on top of the other guards coming up the stairs. The boss tries to make a run for it, but surprise! His driver is already dead in the car. So the boss runs back inside and grabs a gun just as Sagata busts in. The boss's right-hand man jumps in and starts fighting Sagata, and he's actually pretty good. He knocks Sagata down and is about to finish him, but Sagata grabs a knife and slices the dude's hand. Then he goes after the boss, who starts blasting away like crazy. But get this, the boss is in such a panic, he accidentally shoots his own right-hand man. Sagata totally used him as a human shield. Then, Sagata takes out the boss, and just like that, the whole gang is history. But wait, some leftover goons try to jump Sagata from behind. Before they can get him, someone else shoots them. It's this guy Fujita. Turns out, Sagata works for him, taking out gangs for his security agency. But Sagata's like, I'm out. He's retiring to spend time with his wife and daughter. Fujita's not thrilled, but Sagata just leaves. He gets home to his happy little family, takes a shower, and then hears some weird noises. He comes out, and it's a total nightmare. A whole crew of masked guys has his wife and daughter hostage. The leader is like, hey, thanks for killing that other gang for us. You made things way easier, but now you're a problem, so we gotta take you out. One of the masked guys grabs Sagata's daughter, and Sagata just snaps and attacks. To warn him, another goon shoots the dead body of the first boss, who's still lying on the table, just to show they mean business. Sagata stops, and they just start beating the crap out of him. His wife is crying her eyes out, so the leader gets annoyed and just shoots her, dead. Then Sagata screams for his daughter to run, but they shoot her too. It's awful. With Sagata completely broken, they shoot him and just leave the cops to think it was a murder-suicide. Okay, now fast forward 12 years. The city has a new mayor, Sonohara, who's bragging about how awesome and crime-free everything is. But this one reporter calls him out, asking about all the people who've mysteriously disappeared. The mayor just brushes her off. And then, get this, Sagata is still alive, but he's in really bad shape. He's completely paralyzed, can't move or talk at all. And Fujita, his old boss, is the one taking care of him. Turns out Fujita feels super guilty because, plot twist, he's the one who told the masked gang where to find Sagata's family all those years ago. Whoa! So one day, while Sagata's caretaker is pushing him in his wheelchair, some guy runs up and stabs Sagata in the arm. It's the right-hand man from the beginning whose hand Sagata cut. He's back for revenge, but Sagata can't do anything. Meanwhile, a crooked cop who's part of the mask gang shows up at Sagata's hospital room. He puts on his mask and tries to kill Sagata by putting poison in his IV drip. But Sagata sees him, and all that rage and anger just reboots his paralyzed body. He rips out the drip and throws himself on the floor. It's a huge fight. And another cop shows up and gets killed by the masked officer. But in all the chaos, Sagata gets his strength back. He grabs a bedsheet, wraps it around the masked cop's neck, and kills him. While he's struggling, his feet kick the other bad guy out a window. Just then, Fujita arrives and is totally shocked to see Sagata walking out on his own. The main gang leader hears that Sagata is back and tells Fujita to bring him his dead body. So they cook up this plan. A body bag arrives at the gang's drug warehouse, but it's a fake out. The real Sagata is outside, and we see him on the security cameras just tearing through all the guards. The fight is insane. Fujita gets shot but keeps fighting. Sagata gets inside the factory, and it's just non-stop action. He's smashing heads, throwing knives, and taking out dudes on conveyor belts. He fights his way to the top to face the leader, but the leader is gone. The boss just presses a button on his phone, and the whole building goes up in flames with Sagata inside. The bad guys think they've won, but nope. Sagata wrapped himself in a fireproof blanket and walks right out of the fire ready for more. What a total legend.
Okay, so the guy Fujita, the soldier dude, totally breaks down. He's trembling and spills his guts to Sagata. He's like, it was me. I'm the one who told that gang where your family was. I can't live with the guilt, man. You got to kill me. And Sagata's just like, okay. And bam, shoots him dead. No hesitation. Then he grabs this other gang member and is like, you're going to tell me who your boss is. He makes the guy call his leader, and get this. The guy on the other end is Sonohara, the freaking mayor of the city. The mayor's all cocky on the phone, telling Sagata that he uses his dirty money for the city's good. So killing his gang is a bad idea. Sagata just hangs up, and you guessed it, shoots the guy he's holding. The next morning, the news is going crazy. They're reporting that Sagata went on a killing spree and then died in a bomb blast. But then, surprise, we see Sagata's daughter, Rio. She's alive. Turns out one of the gang members raised her this whole time. And that guy gets word that Sagata is actually still alive and hiding somewhere. Meanwhile, Sagata's with this old cop buddy whose life he saved way back when. The cop gives him the best news ever. Rio is alive. The gang leader didn't shoot her that day. He shot a twin or something. The cop thinks they stashed her at their security agency. As soon as he hears this, Sagata grabs the cop's gun and is out the door. He gets to the agency and just starts plowing through people looking for Rio, but Rio is hiding from him. She saw the news and thinks her dad is some crazy killer. She totally forgot everything. Before Sagata can find her, the guy who raised her shows up and attacks him. They get into this massive fight, and Sagata recognizes his voice. It's the dude who killed his wife. But before Sagata can get his revenge, Rio shoots him from behind with an arrow. He goes tumbling out a window and just vanishes. But don't worry, his cop buddy was there to rescue him. He gets Sagata to a safe spot and patches him up. Then Sonohara calls the cop. He saw them escape on CCTV. He gets on the phone with Sagata and is like, "You want to see your daughter again? Come to my resort, alone." So Sagata goes to a secret stash, grabs a sick car and a bunch of weapons, and heads for the resort. He sends the car in empty as a distraction and sneaks in another way. He has to fight his way up this massive staircase, just taking out guard after guard. It's a total bloodbath. But then at the top, he faces this masked fighter who's just as good as him. It's a seriously tough fight, but Sagata finally wins. He gets in a lift, shooting more guards on his way up, and finally gets to the floor where Rio is. She sees him and is totally freaked out. She still doesn't recognize him. Sagata gets all emotional seeing her, and bam, another masked guy attacks him from behind and knocks him out cold. Sonohara himself walks in, grabs Sagata by the hair, and starts going on and on about how he's this demon of the city. Then he puts a sword to Rio's neck and says, "Watch me kill your daughter." Seeing that, it's like a switch flips in Rio's head, and all her memories come flooding back. She remembers everything. Just then, Sagata's cop friend shows up and starts shooting the place up. Sagata gets free and starts fighting the last masked dude. This guy is no joke. Sagata almost loses a few times, but he's fighting for his daughter, and he finally manages to beat him. He rips off the mask, and plot twist, it's Sonohara's twin brother. A flashback shows us this brother did all the Sonohara's dirty work while the mayor lived the high life. Now that his brother is dead, Sonohara has to fight himself. He puts on the mask, and he and Sagata have this epic sword fight. But Sagata is so beat up, and Sonohara actually manages to chop off his hand. Even with one hand, he makes one last desperate attack and kills Sonohara for good. Rio runs to her dad, then the guy who raised her shows up and tries to be like, "I'm your real father," but before he can get close, Sagata uses his last bit of strength to slice him with his sword too. He gets to hug his daughter one last time, tells her he loves her, and then he dies right there in her arms. Later, the place is swarming with cops. They're pulling out bodies, and you're not going to believe this. Sagata's twin brother is still alive. He uses his injuries to pretend he's the real mayor, wins the election, and takes over the whole city. He's sitting there putting on the leader's mask, loving his new power. But then Rio shows up. She's here to finish it. She unloads her gun into him, killing him for good. Then she gets in her dad's car with a picture of his family on the dash and just drives away. And that's the end. What a crazy ride.